Hey friends, happy Monday. This is not a snow day, day 65 of quarantine here in southeastern Michigan. Parts of Michigan beginning to open up by governor's order. Parts of the other states in the United States are opening up. Lots of big news to be had. Here it is, Monday. Excited to be back with you. I have a big thought for you. I was actually this morning missing staff meetings, missing checking in with my great team and some other teachers who I enjoy working with and just kind of pushing through issues. And one of the things that has made me really proud to be on teams or part of organizations is when that organization looks for a way to say yes. What do I mean by this? So frequently, students will come with a suggestion or an idea or a fundraiser or something like this. And this goes back to when I was working in high schools as well. And there's usually two kinds of mindsets that operate. One is a person who immediately goes to all the reasons that's a terrible idea, all the possible things that could go wrong. And the other mindset, and the kind that I enjoy and try to cultivate, is like, okay, how do we say yes to that? How do we find a way to make that happen? And I'm lucky enough to work with some great educators who oftentimes our kids will bring us something, or middle schoolers especially, and like, all right, how can we make this work? Or what's a tweak? Or what's an element of that? Because then the kid has some ownership over it. They have some ownership over their events. They get really, really empowered. It leads to great learning, as well as it is their school, right? So how do we help them own this part of the organization? So my big thought for all of you out there is to think about, really, really spend some time asking yourself, why are you saying yes to the things you're saying yes to, and why are you saying no? I think sometimes we can get into this gut reaction where we're just like, no, or like, sure, go for it. And we don't actually think about it. So the first part of this is to actually give yourself a moment to say, like, give me a second on that. Let me think about this. This is countercultural to a lot of the way our society operates, in which we want answers right away. We feel pressure to respond and to be right, and especially if you're a parent or someone who's in charge of other humans, you want to look right and look smart. And one of the most important parts of a yes and philosophy in life is that comma in between yes and where you just kind of pause and think, let me think about this. And as parents, my wife and I have tried to partner, like, all right, how do we say yes to that? And she's often spent the time, which is oftentimes a hard time, saying to me, why are you saying no to that? And so we try to just look at, what are we saying yes to here? What are we saying no to? And is there a way we could say a yes? I say that because I think I know we have been spending a lot of time in our homes. And so we might find ourselves being a little bit more rote and not as reflective. And so I would love for us as parents and as humans around each other to spend more time saying, how do I agree to this? How do I say, yeah, that's okay. We can make this tweak or this parameter. I think it also, we're at a point where I think a lot of people are kind of tired of quarantine and they're bored with it. And so they're maybe saying yes or no to things because it feels good or because it's exciting. And I think that might not be the right choice for a lot of us. And I'm not going to tell anyone how or when or what they should do with their lives. I think that's a great choice for you to make. As long as you're asking yourself, why are we saying yes to this? Why are we permissioning this? And why are we saying no to it? Maybe it's an okay thing to do. It really leads to a level of reflective thinking, not reactionary thinking. It can really empower the people in your house to feel like they have some ownership, that rules are not being set down. And it makes you feel a lot better about it as well, because when you say yes to things from an informed place, or you say no to something from an informed place, you are more secure in that decision. And you have owned it a little bit because you've cognated on it. And so things don't happen to you. Instead, you make some things happen around your parameters of comfort. So my challenge, your homework, is to think a little bit about, why are we saying yes and why are we saying no? And does it reflect your values? Does it reflect the information at hand? And how does that feel moving forward, not just in the moment? So I miss my staff meetings where we try to find ways to say yes to our kids and say yes to their creative and sometimes outlandish and oftentimes very, very insightful requests. So hopefully we'll be back saying yes to things in the near-ish future. You can say yes to these videos by simply clicking subscribe, and that means you'll find out when I post a new one. I try to do it approximately this time of the day, but today I had office hours in class. I had a great Zoom call with an old friend, and a lot of laundry to fold, and then a Michael Jordan documentary, and I said yes to some relaxation on the couch is what happened, and I posted a little bit late. And so if you subscribe, you'll have an opportunity to know exactly when I post things, and you'll get it right into your inbox. You can also comment on any of this content that you're interested in, or things that you'd like to see me cover. We started this as homeschooling, and even homeschooling starting to wrap up. So I'm really curious where This Is Not a Snow Day goes next. I'd love to know where you'd like it to go. What would be interesting to you? So like the video if it was important to you, but more important, share it if you think somebody else, maybe somebody that you're partnering with an organization or with a household, this will help kickstart conversations about why are we saying what we're saying? Why are we saying yes when we say yes? And why are we saying no? And do we need to revisit those, or are they the right decisions and we can feel comfortable in moving forward? I hope you have a comfortable rest of your Monday or whenever you watch this. I'll be back tomorrow because it's a weekday. This is not a snow day, so let's figure out a way to make every day, maybe not a new normal, but something comfortable that we can live with. Thanks so much for watching.